Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Oh, there's going to be a showdown at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis rumbling down the lane, and he will put an end to the madness as he lays it in with a left hand, count it with a foul.
Our Bucks Spurs coverage begins tonight at 8 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
10:01, we have partly cloudy skies and 19 degrees, increasing cloudiness today and maybe some flurries with a high of 24. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Milwaukee leaders celebrating the reopening of a Southside Milwaukee fire station.
The red brick building at 8th and Hayes was first opened in 1912, but shut down in 2018 due to city budget concerns. The building is just half a block away from a fatal fire earlier this year, which Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says would not have been fatal had response times been lower. The building will be recommissioned today, as will a paramedic unit at Station 28, which also was shuttered and then reopened. On Milwaukee's South Side, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Fire stations in Southern California likely largely empty as crews are hard at work battling 3 major fires. Thousands are evacuating due to those life-threatening wildfires. This Pasadena woman returned to find her home intact.
My heart just breaks for all my neighbors who have lost their homes, and I hope their insurance companies pull through and that they can move forward and rebuild.
The Eaton fire there has burned over 2,200 acres near the Pasadena area. The Palisades fires burned roughly 3,000 acres around the Pacific Palisades Malibu area after it broke out just yesterday. And the Hearst fire has torched 500 acres north of San Fernando. Health experts say drinking any kind of alcohol increases your risk for cancer. Medical College of Wisconsin President Dr. John Raymond tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News how drinking can cause different types of cancers in your body.
Alcohol induces the production of what we call free radicals that can damage tissue. Also, metabolites of alcohol can damage DNA. And alcohol itself, with long exposures to mucous membranes, might also induce cancers.
Surgeon General recently recommended warning labels on alcohol. Supreme Court could hear oral arguments Friday on whether TikTok should be banned in the U.S. One Milwaukee influencer is watching closely for a decision.
Here's my little J-Mat. Alex of Shrunk 3D asked if he could make me a mini-me.
That's Milwaukee influencer J-Matt. That video alone got nearly 290,000 views. In J-Matt's world, views mean dollar signs.
I made 46% of my income from sponsored content.
J-Matt is working this year on the assumption the TikTok ban goes through. He's pivoting and acknowledges he'll take a hit.
Because of engagement that I get on that content on Instagram compared to TikTok, I can't charge as much.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Members of the public paying respects to former President Jimmy Carter. A long line of people began filing past Carter's casket in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda Tuesday evening. The 39th president, who died Sunday at his home in Georgia, will lie in state at the Capitol till 7 a.m. local time Thursday. Economists anticipate the job market to remain strong in 2025. A major consideration, says ABC's Jim Ryan, is the type of employment being sought.
Based on the jobs its users are seeking and finding, LinkedIn says work related to artificial intelligence is a hot commodity. The professional networking app says the fastest growing job title in the country is artificial intelligence engineer, followed by AI consultant, each of which pays a 6-figure salary.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is down 34 points. NASDAQ off 52. S&P 500 is down 7. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@wtmj.com. john.mercure@wtmj.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @wtmj.com.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With colder weather in the forecast and no festivals to attend, our showroom is a year-round festival the whole family will enjoy. Read our reviews. Our store has it all, including the finest lighting and ceiling fans available, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Tech, and hundreds more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. How do you beat the number defense in the NFL? That'll be the challenge for the Packers as they take on the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs on Sunday. ESPN Milwaukee's Mark Tauscher tells Wisconsin's Morning News what he's looking for.
I want to see more play-action pass from under center, and I want to see big shot opportunities early in downs, not just waiting for 3rd and 6. Let's take some shots.
Packers and Eagles kick off at 3:30. Our Green Bay game day coverage starts at noon. Late night basketball tonight in Milwaukee. Bucks tip off against the Spurs from Fiserv. Number 6 Marquette crushed Georgetown 74-66 in college ball. Milwaukee visits Fort Wayne tonight. Wisconsin hosts Minnesota Friday night. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A crash is blocking 3 right lanes. This is going to be I-94 west at the ramp from St. Paul Avenue. I-94 east about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Barker Road. There is a disabled vehicle. It is blocking the right shoulder. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Increasing cloudiness today, maybe a flurry or two. High of 24, low tonight 14. Partly cloudy and 30 tomorrow. Chance of light snow Friday, 31 for the high. Partly cloudy and 29 on Saturday. And then light snow likely on Sunday, high 32. 15 in Madison, 19 in Green Bay, and 20 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Happy Wednesday. Lots of stuff on the big show on the Upswing this morning. Beer and business. That's going to be our first topic. Oh, yes. Beer is big business in Wisconsin and across the country. Did you know that beer is taxed at approximately 6.5 cents per gallon? One of the lowest in the country here in the state. Of course, beer exists in a pretty complex tax and regulatory landscape. And lately, it's been a tough go for some of the craft brewers and independent breweries. Wisconsin, though, ranks 5th among U.S. states in per capita beer consumption, with an average of almost 37 gallons per adult per year consumed. But trends and habits, they're changing a lot. And dry January, it is dry January. So we're going to check in on the trends and the big changes, especially at Explorium Hospitality Group. Mike Doble is going to join us. They just announced on New Year's Eve that it was purchasing the assets of Good City Brewing. So we'll see what the opportunities with that acquisition are for Explorium. We'll drink to that, see what the future will bring. Then Rich Kirchen will join in the second half of the show. Business headlines. We'll talk Harley Davidson, a Pepsi distributor, is eyeing a move in Wisconsin, a new data center, and much, much more. But first, as we do each and every morning, we're going to go two up.
Now it's time for the two up on the Upswing.
We got to start here. Girl Scout cookie season is indeed upon us. I love the business lessons and all the pitches that you get from Girl Scouts when the season starts. You get the calls, you get the videos, you get the knocks at the door. It is so many lessons learned when you're selling Girl Scout cookies. And whenever you're presented with the opportunity to buy Girl Scout cookies, you have to. It's just, that's what you have to do. But yesterday, Girl Scouts of the USA kicked off the selling season. They also announced that it's retiring after this season a couple of its cookie flavors, the Girl Scout s'mores and the Toast Yaz. You know, I don't know. These aren't two of my favorites, but they still have 12 varieties if you include the two that are sunsetting. I don't know. I'm still going. I'm going all in Thin Mints, but I kind of like the lemonades too. That's a really refreshing. Has that shortbread and a little bit of that tangy lemon icing. Jess, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
You might call me basic for this, but I really like the shortbread or trefoils. I don't know what they change the names a lot. I think it's because of the distributor, right?
Yeah, I think there's a distribution thing that makes it a little differently. But essentially, that shortbread Girl Scout cookie, I'm a big fan too.
Also, the caramel delight's great when you refrigerate them.
Oh yes, and microwave.
Or freeze them.
Or on the other end, microwave it just a little bit. Very, very tasty. All right, Girl Scout cookies, sunsetting a couple flavors, but still a lot of opportunity there to buy. Tom Holland goes to Target. Not only did actor Tom Holland put a ring on Zendaya's finger, he has a new NA beer that was launched at the end of last year, and now it's available in Target stores. Biro is the latest entrant in a now increasingly almost a crowded category of non-alcoholic beer. And by one estimate, this category has grown into a $37 billion industry. Tom Holland's new beer has 3 flavors: Kingston Golden Pills, an Edge Hill Hazy IPA, and a Noon Wheat. You can get it at Target now in 6-packs for $11.99. The 12-packs are $21.99. Cheers to more beer options, more lower and no alcohol options. We're going to talk about that on the local level with Explorium Hospitality Group when we come back. But it's good to see people are embracing dry January and more. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
These Spurs think they can handle winter up north, eh?
Come on, Daddy, just a stupid cowboy.
Well, you can leave your tumbleweeds at the airport.
This does not look like Texas. Where's the tumbleweed?
Because once we give you the cold boot, you won't be able to wrangle up a layup. The Spurs settle up to the frozen frontier to take on the Bucks.
Corner, A.J. Green lets it rip and splashes down the 3.
Our Bucks radio game day coverage starts tonight at 8. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they always get the job done. Together, doing good, that's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Deep freeze is here. It's not too late for you to get hot, hot, hot. Fox World Travel has your ticket to paradise with exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else. Save up to $150 on Mexico and Caribbean vacations with Apple Vacations, or get Fox exclusive cruise perks like onboard credits and more with Celebrity Cruises, Holland America, or Princess. Don't miss this limited time to book now and save only at Fox World Travel. Book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code radio.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Thanks for being here. Explorium Brew Pub is expanding its operations and its footprint with a recent acquisition, and it has plans to double its beer production in 2025. Co-owner, founder, all things beer man, Mike Doble joins us in studio. Mike, I'm here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jeff. Good to see you.
I appreciate your time. So, Explorium Hospitality Group now acquired Good City Brewing.
Yes.
Just kind of go back and tell us how a deal like that comes together. Were you looking for an acquisition? And, going from 2 locations to now, what, 6?
6.
That's going to be a big leap for you.
Yeah, it's a very big leap. Big leap of faith as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, what makes it worth it is we have, the full support of Dan and David, who founded Good City, coming up on 9 years ago now.
Yeah.
And we've been friends since. And Dan called me back in November and started talking to me about, how can we collaborate and work together. And it turned into talks of an acquisition. And you know what gives me confidence to do it is there is an amazing group of people that are Good City Brewing that are welcoming us with open arms, and just an amazing staff that gives us a lot of confidence to move forward. They are really, they're super flexible. They're very professional. They've treated my other co-owner, my wife, Joan, and I very nicely. And we're kind of integrating staff and systems and all that. You can imagine that's pretty stressful, but the people have been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, any business deal, no matter what the size and scale is, has to start with a good relationship and good people and a good solid foundation. And you have 2 really good solid foundations coming together. So that should make that kind of that 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah, without a doubt. And what also helps is that, Dan and I, as we sit down, I'm talking about Dan, the founder of Good City, and David, when Dan and I sit down, we speak the same language. We speak hospitality, we speak beer. We both have been around Milwaukee a long, long time, and we understand real estate, and we understand, how do you develop these things? Because those are the nuts and bolts of what make these locations work is, location and setup and ambiance and hospitality. So I know we should talk about some of those things, but when I look at what Dan has done, it's fantastic. I don't have a full-time job. I work in beer. Dan has a full-time job, and he really, I really admire him for reaching out and looking for help, because he has an amazing staff and he wanted to support them. And that's kind of how this all started.
Yeah. We're talking with Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group. I keep wanting to say Explorium Brew Pub. It's still
fine.
That too, but I want to talk about the big picture.
It's bigger, yeah. It's
so what are your plans for the Good City brand itself? Does it eventually sunset, or
Yeah,
other
eventually we will sunset the Good City brand on the side of buildings and whatnot.
Okay.
It looks more and more that some of the favorite beers that are in the market will live on.
Okay.
And we will produce them under license. So the same guy, Dane, that is the head brewer at the Farwell Brewery on the east side. He's going to continue making those beers. So we're talking to Beechwood as the distributor.
Okay.
And we've been talking to Beechwood about, hey, what's their appetite for us to continue? And they really want to see those beers continue. And so does obviously, Dan and David. It's their brand, and they've put a lot of love and care into it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have a lot of respect for the brand, and we're happy to do it. So it looks more and more that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But as far as the operating locations go, we did not buy the brand.
Okay.
There is a sunset sometime in the future that will hit. And, and the reality is craft beers change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And, even at the Explorium Brew Pub, which is soon to have its third location in Wauwatosa, so that Good City Wauwatosa and Mayfair collection is going to get rebranded.
Right. Okay.
So there'll be 3 Explorium Brew Pubs. But even there, and even at Explorium at Southridge and in the Third Ward, we've had to continually pivot and respond to the desires of the customer base.
Yeah.
The solid beer drinkers are still there,
right,
and they're not going away.
Yeah.
We do have this massive support of a really loyal fan base. And we'll continue to serve them, but we have to pivot and do other things like NAs and cocktail program, and bourbon's been big the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So we continue to evolve to address those needs of the customer base.
We're talking with Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group. Mike, when we come back, there's been a lot of change in kind of the entertainment business, right? People going out and they want that full experience. So I'm really interested to see how you want to tackle the new locations that you've acquired, specifically what you're going to do at that kind of really unique, big, large venue in Deer District.
I'm excited about it.
Indeed. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Catch up on Wisconsin's midday news with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It's not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
In the mornings, Greg will typically drink an iced coffee, a cold coffee. Gina does hot coffee, and then I do tea.
By listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
Darkness Retreat isn't for me. Ayahuasca's probably not for me.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected. And no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
I drink alone, yeah, with nobody else.
Welcome back to the Upswing, the business of beer. Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group joins us in studio this morning. So, Mike, your company will be taking over. If you've been to a Bucks game or Marquette game, you've been to Five Serve, you've been to Deer District, that big, good city brewing structure.
Yes.
An entertainment venue, an event venue, a really large, unique space.
It is.
So you have the fun opportunity of moving in there, maybe reimagining it. How do you plan to tackle that location?
Well, first of all, we're not going to do a whole lot until the Bucks season's over.
Okay.
That space is intensely busy during the Bucks season, and as is the whole Deer District, and it's really great. They've done a really nice job of getting people there and having that be the landing point before going to games.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. It actually works out really well. The space is large. There's an amazing event space in there, which is really pretty cool.
Yeah, on that second floor.
Yeah, and we're very good at selling events. We do have a smaller space in the Good City space right now.
Okay.
So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see that space reimagined and be a little less focused on such a broad range menu. Right now, the broad range brew pub menu is in there. I think you're going to see it par down. They have a very successful Mexican kitchen concept that they're working over there, and that has a lot of legs.
Okay.
And so one of our goals is to make that space busy all year.
Okay.
And it can't just be a Bucks season thing. I mean, the Deer District can't survive that way. So we're talking to the Bucks about how do we activate that space more. And the Bucks are investing a tremendous amount of money. Music venue next door.
Yeah.
There's an MATC facility coming. So,
additional housing and residential on the way as well.
Exactly. So what we have to do is find a way to make that space attractive all the time. And so we think some sort of compelling concept in there that kind of ties in with our brand and craft beer and craft cocktails. But the Mexican kitchen theme is really speaking to us. So
nice. All right. That's good. I'll put it on my lunch plans for sure.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
All right. So how do you continue to grow and differentiate? I mean, there's been a lot of loss in your industry in the past several months, especially locally here. But trends are changing, habits are changing, and, even alcohol warnings could be changing soon as well.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that makes Explorium different is that we have always been a hospitality brand. We've always focused on hospitality first, craft beer second. Now, we like to think that our craft beer is second to none, but that's for each individual taste to judge, and we respect everybody's opinion. But we've always been hospitality first, and part of that is having a broad range of offerings all the way across the board, from food to cocktails to liquor selection to beer selection. If you look at our beer taps, they're carefully curated so that we don't have 8 hoppy beers on tap and then maybe 4 lagers and an afterthought, of another style.
Yeah.
They're well curated across the broad spectrum of styles, and we always try to do something new, something different, something historic.
Yeah.
So that's been a differentiator in our beer. Another big part of it is we have a lot of customers with dietary restrictions, and we're very big on having options for dietary restrictions. We make all of our beers gluten removed, which doesn't alter the flavor. It doesn't change the way we make beer. We make beer just like every other craft brewery, and it tastes great. But that enzyme that breaks down the gluten in the beer is a differentiator, and it drives a lot of business, honestly.
What about NA? You're not brewing a NA beer right now, but you have plans to, and obviously you have other kind of adjacent non-alcoholic products.
So we just partnered with a brand called Latza, which is a startup, and they're making a really great non-alcoholic cocktail. So we're partnering with them. The NA beers are super popular. We are selling a lot of them.
Okay.
And you know what? It just makes sense for us to make our own.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's our hope to get in that space.
And is that process getting less expensive than it was a couple of years ago? I heard that from a lot of local craft brewers. Like 5 years ago, it's like, it's just too expensive to do.
It is a very expensive piece of equipment that's needed to do it, but it's becoming the non-alcoholic beer scene is becoming very mainstream, as you see with all the big national brands.
Yeah.
It's also becoming more mainstream in craft, which scales the equipment down, creates volume, therefore creates cheaper equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can probably expect in the next 12 to 15 months that we'll be trying to put out some NA beers as well.
Very good. And what do you see then for the additional Good City locations in terms of food? Or is that something you're still looking at in terms of how you want to activate those spots?
Very quickly, we talked about Wauwatosa being rebranded as an Explorium Brew Pub and taking all those elements. We talked about maybe a Mexican kitchen concept in Deer District.
Yeah.
The East Side location is it's an amazing build, an amazing space, and we kind of view it as a little more upscale.
Yeah.
So you might see the menu swapped out for something a little more upscale, a little quieter dining versus brewery tap room.
Very good. Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next. It is 10:30.
This is a special report from ABC News. California wildfires. I'm Sherry Preston. We have just learned that the wildfires burning throughout Los Angeles have claimed at least 2 lives. Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger minutes ago.
This is a dynamic situation. We've got fires throughout the entire county, which are spreading our resources very short. One of the things that people ask me is, what do you want to convey to the public? And that is, heed the advice of first responders. When they ask you to evacuate, evacuate.
Fire Chief Anthony Baroni says 1,000 structures have burned so far, and they don't know how it started.
The cause of the fire is unknown. However, it is under investigation.
ABC's Leanne Suter is on the scene of the Altadena fire north of Los Angeles.
It sounds like a freight train is coming through the trees here. Like, here comes another one. You can hear it kind of building as it starts. And then these winds really hit hard, these gusts, and that is the problem for all of these firefighters.
This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. A car chase leads to a crash that damages a library. Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputies were doing surveillance at a home near 2nd and Lloyd and found a 36-year-old man wanted for burglary. He drove off. Officers gave chase. Suspect ran the red light at MLK and Locust and hit another car, eventually crashing into the library construction entrance on the corner. One worker inside the building slightly hurt. Everybody else is okay. Man who was allegedly behind the wheel when his passenger shot and killed 2 people in a parked car has been charged with a felony. 18-year-old Quintaris Morris, accused of harboring or aiding a felon. The getaway car used in that Christmas Day shooting was found burnt in Deneen Park. The 2 who were killed at 37th and Scott were 18 and 15 years old. Plans for a new state office building on Milwaukee's west side are growing. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports proposals for the site at 27th and Wisconsin have grown to 72,000 square feet of office space for several Wisconsin agencies, including the Departments of Administration, Revenue, and Workforce Development. The building will be privately owned and leased to the state. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is down now just 2 points, 42,525. NASDAQ down 17 at 19,472. S&P 500 virtually unchanged, 5,909. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. That crash that was blocking 3 right lanes has at I-94 westbound at 27th Street. That has been cleared off, so those lanes are open again. Again, that's westbound 94 at 27th Street. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Increasing cloudiness today, a flurry or 2. Cold with a high of 24. Partly cloudy and 14 overnight. Partly cloudy 30 tomorrow. A chance of light snow Friday morning. Then mostly cloudy with a high 31. Partly cloudy and 29 on Saturday. Snow likely on Sunday. High right at freezing 32. 15 in Madison, 19 in Green Bay, now 20 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:33.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right. at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With colder weather in the forecast and no festivals to attend, our showroom is a year-round festival the whole family will enjoy. Read our reviews. Our store has it all, including the finest lighting and ceiling fans available, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Tech, and hundreds more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by senior reporter of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Rich Kirchen, and Mike Doble from Explorium Hospitality Group. I asked Mike to stay for a couple more minutes because I wanted to hit on this whole... There's definitely the perception that the craft beer space is saturated. There's too many in the market. How many actually are there when you look from Milwaukee to Racine? How many are there? And then what are your opportunities there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it always hurts our heart when our friends go out of business, right?
Yeah.
And, these other craft brewers... they put their heart and soul into their brewery just like I do. But, to keep things in perspective, between, Kenosha to Mequon to Oconomowoc, we have 44 craft breweries in southeast Wisconsin. There's still a lot of breweries to satisfy your thirst. And what people have to remember that it is, and I think that fresh and local and natural is something that speaks to everybody's heart. Mm-hmm. We like to go to farmers markets. We like to know who our farmer is, and we like to buy fresh and local, and that's what craft beer is all about. And people need to remember that. There's a lot of fuzzy lines being created by, big national brands, and, your local craft brewer is doing it fresh. He's doing it naturally. And they're doing a really great job, and there's still a lot of opportunity. There are some challenges. I mean, there's headwinds in the industry right now. We are losing a little bit of market share. NAs we talked a little bit about that's cutting in a little bit.
Yeah.
But and I think the real challenge for craft breweries is not to become too oversaturated in the market. Find your neighborhood, speak to your neighborhood, and make sure you're providing something your neighborhood wants. And, if people want craft breweries and they want cool local places and they want fresh, natural beer in their grocery store, then support your small local craft brewery. Simple as that.
Community and commerce, that's what we do on the Upswing. That's what it's all about. Mike, I appreciate your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of the week, and
My pleasure.
We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Rich, let's pivot a little bit from beer to soda. I'm not drinking a ton of soda these days.
Okay.
Are you a Coke or a Pepsi guy?
Coke.
Coke? See, I'm again, I don't drink a ton of soda, but I usually go to Pepsi. I think it's a little sweeter. I've just always
you gotta
always
be tough to
Pepsi.
drink Coke, man. And Coke Zero.
Oh,
Diet
Coke Zero.
Coke,
Okay. All right. Very good.
the whole thing.
All right. So what are the details involving a move by the Pepsi-Cola manufacturer and distributor Westpac in the area? I know you've had some good reporting on this story.
Right. Westpac has their offices in Watertown, and they are proposing and planning to relocate their headquarters to Pabst Farms in city of Oconomowoc. about a 24,000 square foot structure. They're going to have a sign that you can actually see from I-94 as you go past Oconomowoc with the Pepsi logo on it.
Branding.
Yeah.
All right. And so this proposal, it's headed to the review for the Architectural Commission. Is that the next phase?
In fact, today they're going to talk about the design.
Okay.
But I did talk to the city planner, and he said he anticipates this will go to the Plan Commission, and there are no issues with the zoning or anything. So they're planning to start construction this spring and move in within a year of the groundbreaking.
Okay. All right. Let's. I wanted to talk about your story on Komatsu Mining and its $285 million Milwaukee campus. What's their next steps in terms of the tax credits for the job growth there?
Yeah. It's just one of these things where I was wondering what all was going on there. There hasn't been a lot of news since they had their grand opening a couple, 3 years ago. And they were eligible for about $60 million in tax credits from the state through the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, and upwards of $25 million from the city of Milwaukee through a TIF district. The company's so far is exceeding their hiring goals, and their capital investment at that property. The most recent report that they filed last year with the state, they were at 1,034 employees. And that means they've added 337 jobs since they first signed their contract with the state. So seems to be a very positive report. And I talked with Lafayette Crump, also the Department of City Development Commissioner with the city TIF district, and he's thrilled with how things are going and cites that as an example of public participation and subsidies making a difference.
Very good. Yeah, I did a short search on Komatsu's site this morning. There's 46 positions posted in the Milwaukee location, and then if you expand it to all their locations, it's almost 270 locations. Everything from, value STEAM senior manager to human resources to technical training and even a production planning intern. So if you're looking to get into the job market, Komatsu has a bunch of positions posted. We're talking with Rich Kirchen, senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ. Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. It's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman for Horicon Bank. They've been doing banking differently since 1896. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. And Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. It's estimated 1 million people in the United States have Parkinson's disease, about 90,000 people diagnosed each year. Parkinson's is a chronic and progressive disease, meaning the symptoms become worse over time. Here to tell us more is Dr. Ryan Brennan, a neurologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Brennan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with what is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative brain disease that
primarily affects movement and can cause symptoms such as tremors, amongst other symptoms. And this comes from brain cells in the brain that particularly make the chemical dopamine, which is an important signal in our brain that's responsible for many functions, including movement, reward, pleasure, motivation, emotions, and hormone release.
Who does this disease most often affect?
It does affect both men and women, but men are affected slightly more than women. Average age of onset is around 60 years old, and having a first-degree family member with Parkinson's slightly increases your risk. However, the vast majority of the cases are sporadic, but we are seeing an increase in Parkinson's disease in the aging population.
What about signs and symptoms? What should we look for?
They really vary from patient to patient, but the most common ones that people notice or may prompt them to be evaluated by a neurologist are related to movement. Most people think of the resting tremor that you see, the shaking of the hand, but also slowness of movement, reduced facial expression, muscle stiffness, changes in balance or walking are the primary things people see. However, there are non-movement related symptoms that are very common, such as it can impact memory, mood, sleep, bowel function, and it can also affect people's voice and speech as well as swallowing.
Dr. Brennan, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freightert.com/movement or calling 414-777-7700.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined in studio by Rich Kirchen, senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal. So, Rich, before this, we were talking with Explorium Hospitality Group that will soon take over the Good City Brewing space in Deer District. And I think one of the biggest components to continuing the expansion at Deer District is just driving more people there. And residential growth is going to be key to its long-term success. What do you know about a new housing partner in Deer District that the Bucks are working with?
Yeah, we had a story yesterday by Teddy Nichol, our real estate reporter, that the Bucks have issued a request for proposals for housing, possibly high-rise, possibly as tall as 20 stories, but it could be as short as 4 stories, depending on the proposals they get. And they're talking about 900 some units of housing. So it'd be pretty serious. It'd be on State Street. So it'd be on the south side of the Deer District, where there's also a hotel proposal right on the corner of Vel Phillips and State Street. So, this would be sort of where a lot of the Deer District activity has up to this point was initially to the east of the arena of Fiserv Forum and then to the north. Now we're looking to the south. The FPC Live project is well underway.
Yep.
And this would be a pretty significant, I'm just looking at the rendering. If it's a 20-story building, it'll be a landmark for that district.
Yeah, and then, with something that size and scale, you look at additional retail or restaurant opportunities on the ground floor because all those type of developments are mixed use.
Yes, yeah, and that's in the Bucks' request for proposals, and it looks like they would prefer to pick their development partner sometime this month.
Okay, all right, very good. Let's see. I wanted to get your thoughts, and maybe we'll do this right after we come back from the break. Wanted to get your thoughts on Harley-Davidson in 2025. You did a ton of great reporting last year on Harley's challenges and their opportunities, but I wanted to kind of put a bow on that and see how they're going to pull out of their skid in 2025. We're talking with senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal, Rich Kirchen. This is The Upswing. We're presented by Horicon Bank.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news! Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
New Year's resolution, finally do something about that old garage door. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. Time to give the biggest door to your home the look, style, and function it demands. Our holiday guests, first thing they say when they walk in, wow, that new garage door looks really nice. Lifetime also installed a new opener. So quiet, LED lights, camera equipped. You can even run it from an app on your phone. To help fit your budget, through January, tell them Vinny sent you. They'll knock 5% off the total purchase on all service and installation. Get started at lifetimedoor.net.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Perfect day on the ice, huh, Pat? Ice auger, fishing rod, portable generator, and that genius pizza oven. Pepperoni's ready.
For frozen lakes, toasty crusts, and everything in between, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like Blaine's Gourmet Blend Indoor Cat Food, $14.99. Plus, rewards members get free same-day delivery on pet orders of $49 or more. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Fox & Hound's gift cards make wonderful year-round gifts, as everyone loves a free dinner. Through January 15th, buy a $100 gift card, get a $20 gift card for free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's a great place. It's the famous Fox & Hounds.
Celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy with the Bucks at Fiserv Forum on Sunday, January 19th. This annual MLK celebration game presented by We Energies honors Dr. King's spirit of community advocacy. Catch the Bucks in action on the court with a special halftime performance, the We Energies Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest winner. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit bucks.com/impact.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We're joined by Rich Kirchen from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Rich, always appreciate your time and our fun and fast and furious review of all things business. So you've been doing a ton of reporting on Harley-Davidson last year and, kicking it off in the new year as well. What do you foresee for Harley-Davidson in 2025? Do they kind of pull out of a little bit of the skid that they're in, and what do new products look like, and just what does the year look like for Harley?
Well, they are starting to trickle out new product introductions sort of in the motorcycle press. They're going to have their big unveil. I think it's on January 27th, and I will definitely cover that.
Yeah.
See what's new in terms of models. But in terms of the overall business, I'd say it could still be rough sledding into the new year. I did have a story a couple days ago that their plants, including the one in Menominee Falls, have been running partial or rolling layoffs since late July, anywhere from a half a week to 3 weeks, depending on the employee, depending on the job.
Mm-hmm.
They did go back to full operations as of the start of the new year. But the question is, how long is that going to last? Because their dealerships, Robert W. Baird here in Milwaukee, their stock analysts follow Harley very closely. They do surveys a few times a year, and the latest survey of dealerships, Harley dealerships, the dealers are still saying their inventory is way too high. They don't really need more bikes.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much the sellout, the sell-off goes of those bikes that are already in stock, and then really whether the consumer has the appetite and the funds to buy a new bike.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Is market demand there, especially on the electric side for the electric bikes and the Livewire? Like, great product, wonderful vehicle. I have friends that have them and really enjoy them and have had great success using them every day. But is there a big enough market there for them?
Yeah, so Livewire is their electric motorcycle line that they spun off about 2.5 years ago into a separate company. They're not selling many of them. I mean, they're talking about selling several, I think between 600 and 1,000 for 2024, way short of the earlier predictions. Harley-Davidson, even though Livewire technically is a separate corporation, Harley still owns 90% of the stock. And Livewire just announced that they're outsourcing almost everything to Harley-Davidson, which already was manufacturing the bikes. Yeah. So now they're handling accounting, engineering, everything. So, yeah, it's Livewire is going to be one of the big questions going into the new year because Harley ends up, because they own so much of Livewire, it counts against the big losses, $100 million or more a year, count against Harley's earnings.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about a massive data center project complex coming to the town of Port Washington, kind of land that would be annexed by the city of Port Washington. Plans were presented at the Common Council last night. What do you know about this? I mean, it's a huge project with a company from Houston, I believe.
Right. Yeah, I think they're talking about 1,000 acres. Which is a lot,
yeah.
and they did discuss it at the Port Washington Common Council. It seems like this thing is on the move because the Milwaukee 7 Regional Economic Development Group weighed in on this. They're involved. They and the city see this of Port Washington see this as economic development, new tax base, new jobs. Although data centers don't have nearly as many jobs as most buildings of their size. The developer is called Cloverleaf Infrastructure. They sort of have co-headquarters in Houston and Seattle. They are backed by private equity investors. They raised about $300 million last summer. And interestingly enough, when they announced that they had raised this money, they said they're looking for large-scale development of data centers in states such as Ohio, Indiana, and Wisconsin. So they've definitely been targeting this area.
Yeah, and the land, it stretches from the city of Port's north border, north to Dixie Road, and just west of I-43 there, and east of the Ozaki Interurban Trail. So as you said, it's a huge plot of land.
Right, and there had been, it looked like someone was putting together probably a lot of the same properties last year. Whether it was for this project or another one, and then that was sort of quiet for a while. But this thing does seem like it's well underway. I mean, there still needs to be agreements reached between the town of Port Washington and the city of Port Washington. But as I understand Wisconsin law, incorporated areas such as cities and villages sort of take precedent over townships when it comes to annexation.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on in 2025 for sure. And the amount of energy needed will be pretty large, and I'm guessing We Energies would have to build
which is why Gail Clapp,
new on the site, yes.
From We Energies said they support this project.
Yes, indeed. All right, coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News. We'll see you tomorrow. But first, additional business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Explorium Brew